Welcome back to my channel. I'm AK Mulford, a full-time author and part-time chaos gremlin, sharing with you behind-the-scenes author life and helpful but unhinged writing advice. And today, I'm about to attempt to write 21,000 words in 3 days. I am currently on a solo writing retreat in Wellington, New Zealand. Wellington was my hometown for many, many years, and I'm very excited to come back to the city for my little 3-day writing retreat and to get a lot of words written. Now, I've done this writing challenge a few times before, but I'm the most nervous about this one, even though it's a lower word count goal than some of my other ones. And the reason I'm worried about hitting the 21,000 words is because this is the first time I'm doing this challenge where I'm in the revision stage of my manuscript and not the drafting phase. So I can draft really quickly, but revisions are their own kind of beast. I'm going to be revising my rom-com Hold Your Horses, which is the 5th book in my Zookeeper rom-com series, the Prickle Island Zoo series. It's a super fun series, so I'm looking forward to diving back into it. But this is the book I fast drafted during my last writing challenge and drafted 35,000 words in 3 days, which was awesome. And I drafted the whole scaffolding of the manuscript. But now during this challenge, I'm going to be diving back in and trying to layer out the story and add 21,000 words worth of descriptions and new scenes and more dialogue. A lot of the things in the original fast draft were notes to myself to go back in and add later. Well, it's later now. Now comes the time where I have to do all the things that I left myself notes for. And during the month off between the fast draft and now my first pass of revisions, I've left myself lots of notes and a whole document of things that I want to change and add in, new scene ideas, things that will help layer out the plot. But that takes a lot more time than just drafting a blank page. So there's a lot of reworking, and that's one of the reasons why I gave myself a slightly smaller challenge. I still feel like maybe 7,000 words a day was too many for a revision phase, but we shall see. I potentially could have picked a lower challenge within the 3-day 30K challenge structure because there's a lot of adventures to choose. So there's lots of different size challenges, and I'm picking the orange one this time. Normally I do the red one, but I'm going orange 21K instead of 30K. But maybe a more realistic one would be the Mage's Mission at 15K, but I'm gonna push myself. I feel like the group energy is really going to carry me a lot on this one. For those of you who don't know, the 3-day 30K is a writing challenge that I created. It was something I was doing on my own for a long time, and then other writers wanted to join in, and so I created a Discord group and a handy dandy little workbook, and it has lots of fun things and activities and things to get unstuck. It was just a fun little labor of love, and now we have over 300 people in the group doing the challenge together, which is so much fun. And honestly, knowing other people are doing the challenge at the same time as me has been a huge motivator. All of that body doubling has really helped me get the words out. So I'm hopeful that will mean that I can finish this challenge, but there's only so many hours in the day, so who knows? We'll see how we go. I have a few other little fun activities scheduled while I'm in Wellington. I'm getting a tattoo with my friend, and we're gonna go out to dinner one night. So there's other things that are going on as well, but my main focus is to get this manuscript revised. I want to add these words in. It needs to be around that length to fit with the rest of the series. We'll see how we go. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. Hello, good morning. It is 9 a.m. right now, which is my 7 a.m. in Australia. It's very early. I woke up at like what would have been my 5:30. And when my alarm went off, I was like, why have I done this to myself? In a hotel room by myself, I have a very comfy bed. There are no children waking me up, and I've decided to wake up at 5:30 because I've got to write 7,000 words today, which is a lot of words, especially doing revisions. And I don't know how it's going to go. Today's one hell of an experiment. We shall see. I'm really, really nervous that I'm going to get to like 10 o'clock tonight and I'm going to have 100 words and be like, oh man, this was an epic failure. This is probably not a good headspace to be in to get started for this challenge. No, I need to do it. It needs to be there. I've had some people asking how I know I can add in that much in revisions. The real answer is just practice, because I know what length all of the other books in the series are. This is the 5th book in a series. I usually do a fast draft that lands around 30K and then add another 20 to 30K on top of that in revisions. But sometimes that happens in one pass, sometimes it happens in multiple passes. So I'm trying to do it in one pass over 3 days. But honestly, I need that kind of fear. I need the fear. I need the fear to keep me going. Day 1, wish me luck. Okay, the writing sprint session is over. We did 4 Pomodoros, so 4 25-minute writing sprints, and it was really good. It really got me going for the day. Thank goodness I needed that. My brain is just starting to feel like it's kicking into gear. I feel like today is going to go pretty slow for me. But yeah, revisions definitely take longer. I have a few scenes coming up that I need to slot in, and so those I will get some more words done pretty quickly because, I can bang out like 1,000-word scene pretty quickly. But so far it's mostly been editing and adding to current scenes that already exist. Each 25-minute sprint I'm only getting like 300 words, so it's going to definitely be slow going. I've done 2,000 words so far today, so it's midday and I have 5,000 more to go. Day 1 checking in. It is 6 p.m. I've just arrived back at the hotel and I'm about to head off and head back out again because I know if I stay here, I will get in my pajamas and I won't want to finish out the day. So I went out to lunch with a friend and then we went and did some writing, and then I headed to the National Library and did some more writing. And so now I'm sitting at 5,000 words so far for today, and I have 2,000 more I need to get done. Man, today is definitely slower doing revisions takes longer, just as I suspected it would. No surprises there. I am feeling the afternoon slump and I need to rally, so I'm going to go out with a friend. We're going to have some cocktails. That tends to help me kind of beat my mental hurdles that I throw in my way. Nothing like a little tipsy cocktail action to get some writing done. But yeah, no, today's definitely been like getting back into the groove of this draft. But already by 5,000 words in, I'm starting to feel a bit more like, okay, cool. The words are starting to flow a little more easily. I'm hopeful that tomorrow won't be as clunky, but day 2 doesn't have the shiny object energy that day 1 has. So there will be counterbalances. We'll see how we go. 2,000 words to go. Hopefully it won't be too late this evening by the time I finish, but I'll let you know. Good morning. It is day 2 of the challenge, and the Wellington weather has really caught up with me. I was spoiled the first 2 days. Rainy and cold and gives me headaches and feel very unmotivated now. Classic. I knew it would happen though. I was prepared with the painkillers and the extra caffeine. I rallied, I got up, but yesterday and I came back and hopped in and did some sprints in the sprint bot in the Discord, and that was really good because that just got me close enough to the finish line before I was so sleepy that I couldn't keep going. So yesterday I did 6,700 words, so I have an extra like 2 something to catch up on today. Today I also am going to see friends and get a tattoo, because of course I am. Of course I'm getting a tattoo in the middle of my writing challenge. That is a very chaotic ADHD thing to do. I'm hopeful it's going to go a little bit faster because I've already started to get back into the manuscript now, and I have more ideas of what I want to say, and I don't have to like pause and think quite so much. You know, famous last words. We shall see. If you're going to be doing one of these challenges, definitely pick a lower word count goal if you're doing revisions. I'm even feeling like 21K might have been at the very top end of what is feasible for me to do, and maybe I should have picked the 15K, but nope, I've committed and I'm stubborn, so we're doing the 21K. No, this has been a really good experiment, and honestly it feels really good to get it done quickly because all of the story stays in my brain so much better, and it's nice to have like a few days that I know I can dedicate to this book before I have to move back to doing more revisions on Dreamslayer. Now I'm gonna have another coffee and then get ready for writing sprints this morning. We have reached the Tower of Tension. Third of the way there, and all this still to go. Okay, the writing sprints were great. I did 2,700 words during the 2 hours, so that's perfect. I feel like if I push, I can get it done this afternoon after I head out for my tattoo. Hello, I am back in the hotel room with a new tattoo. Look at my bee. It has a little 3 in the wing. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of my philosophy for how I approach my authoring career. So hear me out. Even though it's about primates, I promise it's relevant to things like this challenge and my career in general. It's based on these studies that they were doing with chimps. They were studying based on their ranking, their cortisol levels and how stressed out they were. And what they found was that rank 1 and 2 were very, very stressed out. Like very high cortisol levels. They tended to live less long, but had very good food and very good mating opportunities. And they were constantly fighting between each other to be number 1. Number 2 always wanted to be on top. Number 1 was constantly fighting to stay on top. The third ranked one had lots of food and lots of mating opportunities, but very low cortisol levels because he was never going to be 1 and 2. Archetypically, was doing just enough to stay towards the top of the heap to have good opportunities with the least amount of stress possible. That is kind of my philosophy for my authoring career. I want to be just kind of like right beneath the top dogs, making good money, and I'm still able to write the books that I want and doing enough promotion of the books to be able to be successful while not being constantly having panic attacks and being so stressed and so overwhelmed, something that I definitely have done in the past, and instead enjoying my career and feeling content with where I'm at instead of constantly feeling lacking. Most of the authors I know, even very, very successful ones, feel very discontent with where they're at because they're constantly moving the goalpost to the next goal, and if they're not achieving that next goal, then they're a failure, and it just goes and goes and goes on forever. And I don't want to be that way. I don't want to feel discontent with my career for the rest of my life. And I look at people who are so far above me and are still unhappy, and I'm like, whoa, this is a life lesson for me. And so B3, being number 3, my little weird primate philosophy. Now I can remember that is what that tattoo means. Or it could just be a cute little bee. It doesn't need to mean anything. That's what it means to me. Anyway, it was a lovely day. It was so good to see my friend, but I am determined to finish out this challenge with a success and slay all the words that I set out to. So I'm going to see how much I can get done tonight, and hopefully I'm not leaving myself with a whole bunch of catch up tomorrow. But knowing that everybody's in the group, even right now as I speak, doing writing sprints, means that there's other people who are trying to get the words happening too, and that's hugely motivating for me. So having the group energy is just like pushing me to keep going. I did it! I got to 7,000. I'm at 7,140 words, and it is 10:05. Took me a long while. Revisions are definitely harder. Today it was like 7.5 hours of work. This challenge is actually taking me longer, even though it's producing fewer words. Definitely the hardest writing challenge I've done so far, but I'm really proud of myself that I stuck it out and finally got into flow in the afternoon, because I was really feeling like I'm just gonna give up. I'm not gonna do this today. But then I hit one scene that I was like, okay, and then I was in the groove and I just was like, one more, and just kept going and found that push to the finish line, getting close enough that it was like, okay, I can do this. So I'm very proud of myself. Yeah, I feel that. Well, not really. It's been a morning for me. Good morning. The writing sprints this morning went really well. It is 12:30 and I've done 2,000 words, so I've got 5,000 more to go. Day 3, my goal is to be done by 7 o'clock tonight because I'm going out to dinner with friends. I am so close now that I am determined. I'm only 5K to go. Determined to hit the end. My brain's starting to slow down. I want to just take a nap, so I really need to get out of the room and get out and about. It is almost 4 o'clock. I'm back at the hotel. I am so sleepy. My brain is not braining. It is the afternoon slump for sure. I've hit a part of the manuscript. It's just a messy bit. It needs a lot of fixing. It feels a lot like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I'm like taking more out than I'm putting in. So I'm still sitting at only 4,000 words. Only. 4,000 words is a lot of words, especially as you're revising. I'm losing the will. To go on. It's cold. It's rainy. I'm sleepy. I've been waking up early to get work done the last several days. I feel like I have a pretty cheery golden retriever, let's get it done camp counselor personality most of the time, but right now that is failing me. I think it's a sign I need to take a break. If I have to pull out a miracle in the evening when I get back from dinner with friends, then that's what I will do. I am done. Crazy. 21K of revisions in 3 days. I feel insane. I feel like I've lost my mind. It's been really good, but also really, really hard. This is the face of someone who spent 3 days working on a manuscript. But I'm not all the way through Hold Your Horses, so I still have some more chapters to go. So tomorrow on the plane, I'm going to try and bang those out. We did it. I wasn't sure. I didn't think it could be done, but I'm very proud of myself. Hello, good morning. I am still in New Zealand, even though I shouldn't be. I should be back in Australia by now. Yesterday, I didn't film anything because it was such a blur. I woke up early to go meet a friend for brunch, and then on the way to the airport, I got a text that said my flight was canceled, and so I've rebooked for a flight for today. And I feel like the book challenge gods were saying to me, you need to get this thing done before you get back to Australia, because once I'm back in Australia, I need to get back into my edits for Dreamslayer, and this is really the only time I have to work on this revision pass. I'll come back to it and do another revision pass maybe next month. So even though I hit my 21K, I'm going to keep working away on it till I get to the end of the actual manuscript, because I have a few more chapters left that need to get edited through and things added to them. But I'm going to take the morning to just repack, redo, get a little bit more work done on the project, and then I'm going to head off to the airport early just because with all the craziness, I just want to be there just in case I need to rejig things again. So today's the day this book gets done. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Wish me luck. Hello, I have made it back home, and my brand new banner, pull-up banner, has just arrived, which is why it is open in my office. But look how pretty it is. Look at all the book covers. But I wanted to break down the stats and insights of this challenge because it ended up being like a 3.5-day challenge instead of a 3-day one, because I had my flight canceled and had an extra day. So I did hit the end on my manuscript. Ended up being 25K that I did over the course of 4 days, although the 4th day wasn't really like a full day, so it was like 3.5 days to get to the end of Hold Your Horses, which is this one. So I got all the way through the manuscript, which was great because I was kind of like eyeballing how much I needed to add in. I will probably do one more pass of it before I send it off to my editor, and I'll probably add another like 5K into it. It's sitting at 60K right now, and the book before it, Party Animal, this one is 65K, so I kind of want it to be 65K so it's like similar size. Wait, This isn't the book before it. This is 2 books before it. Crocodile Tears is also the same size as this. So, okay, there's a lot of books. This is the 5th book in the series. I will probably add another 5K. There was a couple scenes that I left a note to myself that were still a little bit, needed a little more fleshing out, but my brain was kind of stuck, so I left them, add a little bit more, and send it off to my editor, and then it'll be ready to go. I might do a whole vlog of that as well, so you can see okay, we've seen the creation of the book, but how do we get it out into the world? But as far as the 3-day 30K challenge goes, I have conquered the Hero's Gauntlet, the 21K challenge, while doing revisions. I've said many times during this challenge, I definitely think that revisions are harder to do than drafting. So if you want to save yourself a lot of distress, maybe aim for doing this challenge when you're fast drafting and not when you're in revisions. I feel like if you were going to do a challenge like this, setting aside a goal of how many hours you work on the manuscript rather than how many words might be better, because with revisions, you're taking in things, you're taking out things, adding new things in. There's a lot of hours and time spent that isn't in the creation of words. Instead of the Hero's Gauntlet being 21K, maybe it's 21 hours, or maybe you want to do the Bard's Adventure and do 6 hours over the course of 3 days on revisions. And so you can measure in hours instead of in thousands of words. Yeah, I think I'll give that a go for the next time I'm doing a revision pass during one of these 3-day 30K challenges, is do hours maybe for revisions and word counts for drafting. Cool. I'm going to go tell the group that now. I think that's a fun idea. But as always, having that group energy really was the thing that kind of kept me going. I'd go out to dinner with friends and then I'd go back to the hotel and keep working. Everybody was like, wow, that is crazy. And it is very unlike me too. I'm not an intrinsically motivated person. I definitely need external accountability and motivation. So it was pretty cool that I felt that motivated. So I'm really proud of myself for that. And I feel like I'm glad that the group existed to help support me and encourage me to get that far and get it done. And it's been really awesome seeing everybody hitting their goals and doing big word counts. And as always with this challenge, I always remind people the goal isn't really the word count itself so much as it is being able to get more done together than you would be able to get done on your own, which is the whole point of the group and the point of these challenges is let's see how much we can get done together. And I'm excited to do it again. It's nice to know that I have these challenges coming up and that I will have time to dedicate to creating more books like these. I'm looking forward to the next one. We've got one on in August and one on November. If you want to come join the group, feel free to. Thanks for coming on the journey with me and being a part of this crazy writing challenge, this crazy revisions challenge. I've revised a whole book in 4 days and added 25K to it, which feels bananas, and I'm very proud of myself for it. So thanks for being there with me and happy writing, friends.